Welcome back, everybody, and how y'all doing? All right, we still have them kiddos in a prison, so we're gonna get to them in a moment. But first, Ollie and Rick, you're in the bar. You just found out that apparently you have tracking devices that are gonna electrocute you if you leave. By Bob the mechanic, who wants you to sponsor his leaving of this place. How do you feel? How are you handling the situation? Go.
I'm getting another drink.
Well, there you go. You go and you get a drink, and it's absolutely delicious. You get exactly what you ordered, and you're pleasantly surprised.
I admire the Hanar for a second. They're born to be bartenders. When the universe and like millions of years of evolution comes together just so you can get a drink real good.
That's so funny. He's like, if I ever open an establishment, I'm only hiring Hana bartenders and Asari waitresses. Just saying. Just saying, No reasons for it. No spraycist whatsoever. All right, so go ahead.
All right, after the little admiring is done, I turn to Andre and think, that explains the free drinks. And the...
What explains the free drinks?
Well, apparently we get shocked if we leave.
Yes.
And we get dragged back.
Yes.
So...
That surprises you? That's very standard affair. That's only until all the business dealings are done with.
Yeah, I'm not that...
It's honestly nostalgic. When I was a little girl, they fit a lot better now.
I mean, whatever gets you off in private, I guess. This is temporary, I hope.
Yes, until the business dealings are dealt with to make sure that we don't leave and say anything we shouldn't.
I'm not as trusting, but we'll see.
I'm aware you're not as trusting. If I knew it would be an issue, then I wouldn't have taken us here. Or taken you here.
I would have appreciated a heads up at least. It's a good thing we're not racist.
Do this in Solarian space.
Not generally.
It's called a security band for a reason. It's for our own security.
Cal just looks at you for a second, like, you know how many volts are on this thing? Quite a couple. I wouldn't call that security.
It's only going to do serious harm if you have some kind of implant in your brain.
No comment.
And so you go back to having a couple of drinks or whatever. Do you guys do anything else before you
I'm showboating. I'm making friends.
All right. There you go. You know what? For making friends, roll me a connect check.
I am a on-the-run criminal terrorist.
Are you gonna use Pool of Luck for a connect check?
No.
All right. Whoa!
I rarely use that thing.
Whoa! Holy shit! You are the life of the goddamn party. You make no, seriously. You bump into people that you haven't seen in years. You're like, oh my god. They're like, no, Andre, come here, Auntie, come here. Come meet my friends. And they're like, introduce you to your friends. And you guys are like laughing, joking. You're like telling stories. And they're like, whoa. You did what? And they're like, and then he got swooped and picked up and carried away. And you're like, yeah, he's right over there. It's that one.
The best stories to tell are always the embarrassing ones.
Well, for other people. And so you actually have
my version of the story. Cattle is the one that get picked up by the bird, and I save him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, and he's the one over there that got picked up. So I mean, it's one of those things where you actually are genuinely the life of the party. You bump into a few different groups of people that you have friendships with or make friendships with. At one point in time, kind of everybody gets together. And it's becoming a bit of a late night, not because you're necessarily getting drunk and being foolish, but because you're actually having a really good time. At the end of the party, you know for a fact that you've made some really solid friends moving forward, at least like one-time connections moving forward. But more importantly, you've rekindled old connections. This is kind of something that you've needed the whole time, heavily relying, aside from your your handler, heavily relying on all of Cattle's connections the whole while.
Mhm.
Cattle, I imagine you as well are also in a den of thieves and trying to climb amongst them.
Oh yeah, this is my kind of party.
So could you also roll me a connect check? But however, because of the fact that Entree has done so well, you're going to get a +1 to it. Only +1 as opposed to more, because even though she did well, she's already taken some of the spotlight. Put you in a good
Yeah.
light, but is also take some of the shine.
Is that connect charisma?
Si, senor.
I'll also be probably later at night when it's like we're very tequilaed up. Be like,
That should be an
putting
11,
a
by the
team
way.
together. We're gonna take down Cisse.
Okay, so
Drunken conversation.
so you guys are able to have a lot of conversation with the peoples here, and Cattle as well. You are also able to make connections. Again, like I said, she was the life of the party. There's no question. She got the critical hit, right? The critical success. But you also make a lot of good friends here, mutual friends with her, friends that like you guys like tag team to become good friends with them, or your own friends here. You don't bump into any old people that you knew from before, but that's okay. You make new ones moving forward. Okay, awesome. You guys have a great night. You eventually make your way back to your to where it is that your room is. Whether it be you stumble there or you walk there, whatever the case, you eventually make your way back to the room and are able to crash. The next day, nobody bothers you early or anything, so you can kind of sleep in and enjoy your getting up and whatnot. It's not like there's food provided for you here. Oh wait, is there? You ask somebody, and if you head back to the bar, they do offer you food there as well. Do you guys go there to get food, or you just kind of like handle it yourselves?
I assume we eat matter, yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, you
As
have
we have
your
a
own-
desire and need to eat.
I have a high metabolism. I need food.
So you guys,
we
It is
we
known.
were troubled once because he needed food. So yeah, we're getting breakfast.
you guys head back to the bar, and of course, you remember most of the night from beforehand, if not all of the night from beforehand. But one of the people that's working behind the bar right now is another Hanar. Honestly, they all look alike. But it's different.
They don't all look alike.
it's
You're
di-
racist.
It's different than
different
the.
patterns, different tentacle lengths, different phalanges.
But would you be able to notice the
Ganglia.
differences? Would you be able to tell the differences?
Yes.
Cal
Yes.
probably would.
So,
But he's already like a fish.
and you're already a tentacle monster, so it's kind of appropriate. You guys actually probably could.
Asari get along with everyone because they're weird.
Yeah, and like you just said, Solarian to R. So I imagine a crow can be like, "Oh, I thought it was the same guy." like you're six like jumps across a mass relay away. Why did you assume that one was the same as that one? Oh, his name
Could
was
it be?
Bob. No, you called him Bob. His name's not actually Bob. Anyway, sorry, my own head there. So the bartender, when you guys go walking in, very quickly recognizes who you guys are based off of description from the night beforehand, and is very friendly with you. And of course, you get your food or whatever, and you're good to go. Later
By
on
the
that
way,
day,
I have to ask, what's the story behind the name Bob?
um,
I assume they know that I'm referring to Bob the Hanar.
of course, and the response is, that is not this one's place to tell the story.
That is fair enough.
The mystery rises.
So, eventually the you guys are called later on to go have the meeting with her again, with Philomena, and so you go to meet with Philomena, and when she meets with you, this time it's not there. You're actually on the roof of a separate building where you see that construction nearby is happening, and she was kind of like overlooking the construction happening off on like a field where things are being moved and like foundations being laid and whatnot, and sorry, not fields being moved. There was like city area over there, so like old buildings are being cleared away to lay foundation for whatever new construction's happening. And when you go over there to meet with her, she says, kind of greets with you guys, and you get through the whole bit, and she's like, "I was surprised to see that your story checked out. You are not lying about." At least that Cerberus exists based off of your evidence that you're providing. And that they are a thorn in the side. As a matter of fact, I have a report of a cross interrogation for one of the scientists that worked on this AI project before, which corroborates your story that this is actually being created. This is an AI being created for cybernetic warfare.
Yeah. That's why we're going to try to stop them.
And your plan is to go to CSEC, release your 2 companions, and the 4 of you are going to take down this facility. Do you already have a plan in place? You already have all the things that you need?
Pretty much.
Okay. And what you're asking...
Do we have all the things we need? Do we
Well,
have the
we
hovercraft?
we still
Do we
need the
have
hover
the
vehicle,
shuttle? So no, Cattle. When you say that, I nudge you, and it's like,
I mean, we have a plan, but it's not entirely done yet.
we are in need of some extra parts for the plan to make perfect sense. In
We
particular,
already paid for the hovercraft, didn't we?
yeah, but then we were chased off the planet because we were illegal
Yeah,
as
fair
fuck.
enough. Fair enough.
A hovercraft equipped for mining, and a shuttle that could attach to our ship.
What's your tactic here? What is your actual plan?
Can
With a
I
mining craft and a...
insight roll her?
Yes, you can. That's perception charisma.
Yeah. Because Entourage is just going to tell her anything. But Cattle might not be happy about that.
I would also perception charisma her to see, like, what's up, girl? Just to...
What's up, girl?
Okay, so with your results, unfortunately, Cattle can't really, pick up what his, what she's, kind of like giving off. Like he's like, oh no, she's just asking questions. However, Ansare, you can see that she's just in general, and I guess Cattle can kind of guess this with a much lower roll, just because he's super suspicious of everybody. But she's always got that. I'm trying to get the upper hand by getting you to give me information more than you intended to, kind of bit. But more than that, Entree, you can kind of tell that, like, you specifically know that what she's trying to do is offer you aid, because the more aid that she offers and you accept, the more in debt you are to her. Like, you get that specifically. Like, you know for a fact, ha, I'm in her pocket now. So, go ahead.
So I would, shake my head. All the things that we need we'll be able to acquire once we have returned to our ship and take the necessary arrangements, especially when we have our crew, our talented specialist crew.
So you're saying that you do not need any more assistance?
We've got it covered. Aside from half of our people being in CSEC's grasp at the moment.
That would be the primary concern, yes.
Very well. I can assist with this. But what are you going to give to me in return? You know that the death of these people doesn't directly assist me. It seems as though they're sticking to themselves for some time. I don't go anywhere near the Sol system.
No, that you are correct in that. They are sticking to the Sol system for now. But once they get this, once they get this AI operational, there's no telling that they won't be able to
Once they get, when
it.
they go, where they go, these are all hypotheticals and things that could be stopped along the way. What do I get specifically for helping you now? What are you going to give me in return? You don't need to pay me at the moment. I just need to know why it's worth my while.
We are an able crew. We have our own vessel. We would be indebted to you.
So you'll pay me back with an indeterminate favor of the future.
Yes. You scratch our back right now. We can scratch your back later.
That's, of course, assuming you survive.
A
What?
businesswoman like you takes risks.
Of course, and I'm willing to take risks. However, I'm curious as to what I'm. What are the chances of my? What do I get in case as collateral you don't survive and I can't get my return later on?
Cal just sinks into thought for a moment. He's got a lot of info that he has, and he could set up probably like a dead man's hand kind of thing. Like, if we don't come back, she might get a bunch of information. He's kind of considering right now, like, what would be valuable information for her to have. After the
As these are sort of like political terrorists, the Solarian information would cause the kind of chaos that they kind of want. Probably. It would at least be valuable to them.
And after a moment, Cattle speaks up. There is a bit of particular Solarian intelligence that is in my possession. I can set it up so that, should we not return, you will be forwarded this data, and you could do with it as you please.
Forwarded the data. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a woman of my word. Perhaps you give me the data now. I'll take it with an encryption.
You see, Cattle could. He sinks into thought again for a moment, which is rare for Solarians. They usually think pretty fast on the fly. But I could set up an encryption and then have it so that if we do not come back, you will get the decryption key sent to you to make it easy.
That sounds fine. I'm willing to work along with that. Why don't we do this then? Sensitive Solarian information pertaining to
a certain happenstance in the Krogan rebellions that, if put in the right hands, could cause quite a stir.
this is I'm genuinely interested in, you have me enticed. I'm willing to take this as collateral. There's just one minor detail. I need corroboration that this information is of significance. I have your word, she says, gesturing to Entree. However, I do not know you. So whose word can I take, or what other bit of evidence do you have to corroborate that this is something that is worth my while?
Does this suit have a name tag or anything of the dead captain?
It did have like the what you call it, tags and badges and all that stuff before. You just obviously had them taken off.
Yeah, okay. Cattle quickly pings Entree, like, could your handler corroborate this data for us? Like, vouch for us?
They wouldn't let us give it away.
So it's one of those, I imagine you kind of look over and you're like, could you? No.
Yeah.
But no. All right.
I ain't got anything. I ain't running on enough brain cells to give any good ideas right now.
There you go. So it's up to you there, Catalolon. What do you have to corroborate that?
Because I was kind of looking to find someone that would just be willing to help out of a political thing. Because I thought that this maybe was going to be one of the last sessions, and maybe it would be it would all fall into place. But apparently that's not happening.
That's falling into place, and it is one of the last. So when
should be
you
our
stare
first
there
thing.
blank for a second, she's like, "It seems as though you're gonna have to give me a little bit of a taste, then."
Fine. He grudges. This particular data is about, and he relays the events that happened as the Solarians.
As you
have
start
told.
to speak, she's like, "No, I want to see a little bit of the data." And she hold out a data pad for you to transfer some amount to it, so she could see it.
She plays hardball. All right, fine. I will transfer a bit of the captain's name, and implications that events during the Krogan rebellions did not go as they are being told they are. But careful to not reveal too much.
Okay, awesome. So just enough to convince her that this information is valuable. To which she
Yes.
agrees to that, taking that as collateral, to helping you guys, so she can once again take a debt from you in the future, and that kind of all works out. But that brings us to the last thing. She agrees to let you guys go and to give you guys the means to get them out and whatnot. She does at one point in time suggest what's it called, paying bribery to get them out, and you're like,
We tried that.
yeah, exactly. It didn't really work out. In which case she does say that she has some sort of connections to get them to a place where you can spring them free, where you can literally break them out of prison. To like more or less while they're being transported to break them out. And she even gives offers people that she knows on the Citadel right now as an assistance to allow this to happen. So you guys are all good to go, but let's get back to that last little bit of dealing that you wanted to make with her, because obviously you cared about Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bob's a nice guy. He's a cool name. He could be our bartender in the future. I would politely inquire as to the options of purchasing Bob's freedom.
You would like to take my Bob?
He has expressed a desire to leave this planet, and he could provide some services that I could benefit from.
Bob is not something that goes very cheap. You can pay me in credits, or you can owe me another debt. Shall I continue to add to the back end?
I don't see why a second favor would be a bad idea.
Then we'll do that then. Do you agree to these terms, both of you?
Cattle nods in agreement.
I'm glad to hear it. Make sure that you inform the other two of what it is that they've agreed to. And you guys are actually able to be released to get out of the place. Now, there is one little detail, though. You did make a deal to get Bob out of there, but you also had made a lot of connections here. Some people that are stuck staying, and some people that are able to leave, right? So those people's, did you want to try to bring any of them with you as well? Is that something that you're going to attempt to do? Either A, because you're like bargaining for them to leave, or B, they're able to leave on their own, and you try to get them to come with you anyways.
Yeah, the ones that aren't slaves, yeah, that are useful.
So you would like to try to get them to come with you?
Yeah, we're gonna bust CSEC.
Do me a favor.
It'll be fun.
Do me a favor. Roll me connect check. One of you, and the other one can give a +2 assistance.
I mean, I have 0 connect, but I have +2 from charisma, so.
Yeah, you do it then.
All right, and he's giving you a +2. Okay, so you guys are actually.
Hang on. I'm gonna try my engineer ability because we're literally about to leave anyway.
Sure. And throw in a pool of luck while you're at it. All right. So you guys are able to get several people to jump onto the ship and agree to assist you by one means or another. Get people to assist you in the releasing of your friends. Let's cut all the way back to the Citadel. After all of that fun stuff, let's cut all the way back to the Citadel. In which case you have Winnie and Cracks in their prisons and whatnot. They've been questioned and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. At one point in time, somebody comes to your cell, Winnie, and they open the cell door and say, "Could you come with us?"
Bye, Winnie. You're being executed.
They lead you out into a small holding room where they have Cracks. And the two of you guys sit there, maybe have little bits of conversation, whatever the case may be. And eventually somebody comes in and, kind of to the surprise to both of you, comes in with all of your equipment and lays it out in front of you and says, You, of course, before you get discharged, you're going to need a few moments for you to get ready. I'll give you that time. And leaves the room and shuts the door.
Yeah, Crax just starts, getting dressed and everything. Puts his armor on, puts his weapons on.
All right, muted. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you guys get ready, get all your stuff ready for what you need to do, and like you said, you have everything on. They escort you out. So as they're walking out with you guys, they're like, just so you know, we are bringing you to one particular location before we can officially have you released from custody in its entirety. So you're just gonna have to come along with us and relax for a little bit. Please do a favor and just play ball here. Just play ball.
Crax, he's like shifting the slab buster, which by the way, that's what I named the fucking railgun. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
It's like one of you guys, he dropped it, didn't they? It's just like looks over towards the C-sec guy. It's like, I warned you. I warned them not to try and pick it up alone. It's like, I can feel calibration's off. I'll have to, and he's just complaining at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I can look at it later, Crax. It'll be fine.
I'll hammer it in place. I'll fix the gun for you. It's okay. So anyways,
A little bit of duct tape. It'll be fine.
so you guys keep making your you make your way with them, and they actually bring you over to an area of the Citadel that's it's a bit dense. There's a lot of like tight buildings and whatnot that are together within the Citadel, tight little areas. It's not in the Presidium, and it's not down like the deep, crappy parts. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle of the Citadel, where you guys are brought to a small shop. The shop is pretty empty. Sans a few details, and you know that this shop is where you're supposed to just kind of like hold out for a little bit.